So in my last video, I shared about why I would give away the best ideas I have for free and why I'm not afraid of people copying them even and running away with some success. Because after all, it's all about execution and you can beat the competition by executing smarter and faster with the same idea. But this can go both ways, meaning you can come across someone's idea and go like, hey, I think I can do that too. So you take that idea and then you execute it and then become successful. This is called stealing other people's ideas or copying them. If you're struggling to get started with your own ideas, not knowing where to start, and you're constantly thinking about it while watching other people do it, I hope my experience helps you to get started earlier like I wish I did. And why I wish I knew earlier about this when I was growing up, and I will also openly share some of the ideas that I've stolen in this channel that has helped me to become more creative. Great artists steal ideas from each other. I first heard about this idea when Ali Abdar talked about this book by Austin Kleon in his channel. And it basically says that you don't have to be a genius to teach because you can share your work by teaching what you already know, or learn from others and then teach those ideas. Then I found another one of the author's book called Steal Like an Artist. And this book claims to tell you the 10 things that nobody told you about being creative. And my first initial reaction when I came across it was like, what? No, this is wrong. We are taught never to steal things because that sounds so wrong, right? But is this some kind of unspoken rule or some unspoken secret that our artists do? And is this guy like spilling all the secrets out? So as I read the summary of the book, I realized that the main idea of stealing like an artist is to simply study other people's art and then you start to create your own version of it while giving credit to the author for the inspiration. And the author doesn't literally mean that you plagiarize and you copy, cut and paste somebody's idea, but rather it's using a cheeky term to steal because you're literally taking the idea without the author's permission and then you make it your own without any intention of returning it, except that you just say thanks for the idea, right, out of courtesy. And if we can just see the meta point here, maybe the author even stole the idea of being creative from somewhere. Like Picasso, a famous artist, he's widely quoted for saying, "Good artists copy, great artists steal." So maybe he even stole the name of the title of the book from that quote. But more confusingly, there are like some people on the internet who say that actually it's not Picasso who said that, it's some other poet or some other person. And I will link an article below in the description below if you're interested to find out more about the source of that quote. As I thought about this idea of stealing ideas, I began to accept it as it made a lot of sense when it comes to learning things and as I observe things around me. Because as we learn from other people, we are actually literally copying them. It's like a step-by-step guide of how to do something well, and we model after the leaders we look up to, our teachers' behavior and the methods while growing up. And when we hear someone that we like say a particular line, we may even use it in our own conversations, or when we come across our favorite songs, we might hum the tune and we might sing our favorite songs, hoping to just be a little like the songwriters. But I know that I was hesitant to do this when I was younger because I thought that I had to come up with something completely original, something out of the world, never been done before, then I can be called creative. Like I remember class activities where we students are encouraged to come up with some new innovative ideas, but my group mates will go something like, hey, that has been done before, or no, that's somebody else's idea, we should think of our own. And then I was like, okay, but I don't want to be called a copycat, right? And that's a term that no kid wants to be called, right? So I felt ashamed to copy other people's ideas because of how immature or how people would think of me. They might think that I'm just lazy and I don't want to do my own homework. It's like just copying other people's homework. But I realized that as I was at the beginning of my creative journey making videos like this, it's really getting inspiration from other people's ideas. And as I was thinking about this book earlier, it makes a lot of sense to copy our favorite artists because it's a great guide and we can learn the art along the way. We will not be able to do it 100% exactly, but I think that's where the beauty of this idea is, because we will have our own variations in it and even some flaws in it that makes it original, so that we can actually find our own style along the way as we copy something. One day, a thought came to my mind that no art is really original. Like every art is inspired by some other art, because I rarely see two copies of the exact same thing. I can see similarities, but I believe that every work of art is somewhere in the middle of being copied from somewhere and yet original at the same time because it's made by a unique individual's experience. Okay, so just want to go through some of the examples of ideas that I've stolen and I've made it my own. Like here are some examples where you can see like my lighting setup over there, like at the back where you can see this blue light. It was actually copied from Ali Abdaal's videos where I see that he has this blue light thing over there, and I thought it's really cool to have it. So I got a blue light, I put a blue filter on it, and I just face it against the wall, and like voila, okay, it looks pretty nice. I like the color blue as well because it like represents trust and calmness. While I couldn't replicate the exact same setup as it did, the lighting setup, I actually learned more about how lighting works and all that, and I can put in my own flavors of stuff in my background. Like there's this little durian soft toy which I really like. I saw in a claw machine one day and I thought, it's really cool, right? And did you watch my book review video of Deep Human? If you actually did, go and watch Ali Abdaal's book review video of Atomic Habits, and you would find striking similarities between the two videos. You start with like a B-roll and voiceover, and then the next 30 seconds we can have like an A-roll, and then again the next 30 seconds we can have B-roll and voiceovers, and then I can have like an art book to write out and draw and illustrate ideas in point forms or something like that. So I started off not knowing how to make a video, but as I watched his video closely and carefully, it actually gave me a step-by-step guide of how I can think about a video just by copying his video. So how did it turn out? It was great, and it was actually the most ambitious video I made yet. And the thumbnail of that video was also an idea that I stole, which is basically an overhead shot. So I can just do that for the book also. Some other video ideas you would see are pretty standard as well. You can see like a day in life, which is pretty common. And I also talk about my experience studying in NUS, which other people have done also when they talk about business, school, computer science. And I thought that there's nobody talking about economics yet, so I decided to make a video about it. But for the record, I know that all my other videos that I can't remember where I get the inspiration has been copied from somewhere, either consciously or unconsciously, because I know that I would have sought inspiration from other YouTubers or people I follow on LinkedIn and the talks and podcasts that I listen to get some ideas. I know it's kind of weird to talk about these things on a video and openly share what I've copied from other people, but that's just me. I'm a little weird, I know, right? And I value transparency, and I openly share my sources of inspiration. If I really wanted to create a video that is totally original like no other videos out there, I wouldn't have put out a single video, right? So after reading this book, Steal Like an Artist, it really gave me the permission to just go out there and steal ideas openly. This concept of stealing ideas applies broadly in our work and our play. And we are actually already doing this every day subconsciously. Like when we are stuck with no ideas, then we actually look at our peers and see what they're doing, right? So that we can maybe take an idea or two from there. Like when we play games, we look at the top gamers and see how they play their heroes and follow their step-by-step guides written by some other people. At work, we would study the examples by successful people, and let's say in coding, right, we would study the code of the top programmers to see how they actually solve this problem. Even in our careers, we would model after the top leaders of a company about their language, about the choice of words, about the kind of projects they get in, because secretly we actually want to be just a little like them. And you can do that too for any kind of art that you want to get started with. So now it's your turn. If you've managed to watch all the way till this far, I would like to invite you to think about the creative project you've always wanted to start or the ones that you're working on right now, and look at the top creators or people in the field and try making a version of what you like about your favorite creators by looking at their work, studying their art, and maybe taking a few ideas from there. I will be making another video about how I copy someone on LinkedIn, because I realized that my LinkedIn profile is kind of messy right now and I actually want to make it a bit better. So if you're interested to see how I steal ideas from somebody on LinkedIn, consider subscribing to know when I release that video, and I hope that this video has helped you and you know how to start. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in my next one.